Hey, everybody, we want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world. Yep. We did a live stream earlier from the mall. It didn't work out too good. Signal was bad. I took some pictures and videos there, so I'll post that later. I'll try to integrate in the live stream if I can. Just want to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day today. All the mothers, USA, Philippines, all over. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm watching you. Yeah, I just wanted to do a remake of the video that I made earlier at the mall. It didn't come out too good because all I got to say was hello, and that was about it, and the signal cut out, and that was it. So I wanted to do a remake, send out Mother's Day wishes to all the mothers in the world. I'll try to integrate the video in with this, but I don't know where I can or not. I'll try. I'll do the best I can. I'm sorry to hear about your truck breaking down. I've been there, done that lots of times. I still remember when I was running through the desert out down in New Mexico, my alternator went out. They lost track of me for about 4 hours. They wouldn't know where I went because the satellite went out and everything because my battery was running low on the alternator. And lucky I got out there to a TA and they had one alternator in stock, and I was the last one to get it. Because I got lost in going across New Mexico in the desert out there. And they lost me for 4 hours on the satellite. So lucky I got to that TA, and got that alternator fixed. They only had one, about $400 for that alternator. I said, dang, $400 for an alternator. That was expensive. Yeah, I was on my way to California at that time, so I had to go to Fontaine, California, so that's where I was going. Yep, I've been through Georgia, been all. I think I've been to 32 states altogether. I've been to 32 states. I've been from North Carolina to California, and then from Texas all the way up to Michigan, all up in there. And I've been all up in New England and Maine, all up in there. New York in the snow, and Chicago, and all that. Yeah, sometimes they do that when you have maintenance done on your truck. It seems like you got to go back over. That's where the pre-trip comes in, so you can go check all that stuff because you can't trust nobody. Because I know one time, I had a friend of mine go to Walmart and get the oil change. Never got to put the oil plug in there. They put the oil plug in there. They didn't tighten it up, and he lost his oil. Sometimes you got to go back and recheck what people do. I don't know what's wrong with them. They don't do like they used to do. They don't take the time to do anything. I don't know what's wrong with it. Messed up. Yeah, I never did get to go to Canada. I had the visa and everything, but I never had no loads going to Canada. I didn't go to Mexico either. I think I know who you are. I think it's PA Trucker, I think, because I talked to another guy, he drives too. So, I talked to two of them that I know of. So I'm trying to picture it. So, yep. Yeah, I finally got this phone fixed. I did a phone hack on it. It's one of them cheap Vietnam phones, 3,200 pesos over yonder. Metro Point in Manila when I was in Pasay City, bought this phone. It's a Samsung S Pro, which they do not make. They only come out with an S8 Plus and then the regular Samsung S8, but this is a Pro version and it's a Vietnamese copy. Cameras does pretty good. I just had to, fix that microphone. I had to, fix the jack on it, and so the sound's coming in good. And I took that plastic lens off the back because that camera on the backside, if you notice my videos in Bel Air, when I was on the beach, they had that fog behind them. I thought it was because it was raining, but it's got that plastic lens on. That plastic lens was dirty, so I just took it off. With this phone here, will do live stream directly to YouTube, so I don't have to use another app. Yeah, I know. I'm glad the audio is good. That's mostly what I wanted to get, audio, so people could hear me. Well, see, this phone here will stream directly to YouTube. I don't have to use another app, like Camera Fire or something like that, because I tried that on that other phone that I used Twitch, and I signed in on Twitch, and I got an email notification that said somebody's using your Twitch account on Windows 10, and I know I don't run Windows 10. I run Windows 7, so I had to delete that account because somebody was using my live stream on the app to stream on their phone. Somebody hacked into it, so I said, "The heck with it," so I deleted it. I want to stream directly to live stream directly to YouTube. I don't like to use Camerify and all them other apps because people, they'll tap into your information on your phone and then they'll try to steal your account. Y'all know. Well, they got me curious, because I tapped into that Twitch account, and then I get an email notification telling me, that somebody's using my account. I said, no, I'm getting rid of this. Yeah, I want to start doing some live streams. I'm gonna do some walking videos and stuff. I'm gonna start doing some stuff outside, walking videos, walks, try to show stuff. I try to stay away from the malls as much as I can, but it was kind of crowded today because of Mother's Day, and so we had to eat at some other place. So I didn't want to film that because I done filmed it once before, and it gets kind of boring, seeing the same old mall and stuff. I know. Yeah, I just have the one Facebook account. I've had that since 2012. That's the only Facebook account I've had, and then I branched off from it, and then I got the Life in the Philippines, site on there, and then I got the honest reviews, where I do the product review stuff, and that's about all I got besides the singing videos. So that's all I got, but it's all branched off of that first Facebook page. And we got two watching. That's good. Yeah, I just want to do this live stream so I could do the Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there because I tried to do a live stream before, and I did a live stream, and as far as I got was hello, and that was it. And it cut me off. I'm gonna try different data plans. I'm on the Globe, so I'm gonna switch over to a Smart. I'm gonna see how that does, cause know another guy does that on the Smart, so I'm gonna see if it does any better. Cause I like to do live streams. I like for people to see me, on the live stream instead of doing the video all the time. Cause it feels like you're hiding behind the camera, and I want to do live streams. I'll try to do one every Monday and Wednesday and Friday, if possible, because the only reason it would stop me if the phone messed up or the camera or something, the signal or the phone would mess up. That's about the only reason I wouldn't do one. But I'll do my best to post videos every week. Always got a video coming. I got a couple content videos I got to do, so I'll be putting them out there. Yeah, because I told everybody I'd do the live stream, so I'm gonna start doing them. I'll try to show people what they want to see. They got to tell me what they want to see, because I just do what I think they want to see, and I can't, I can't read people's minds. So I did a supermarket video, but most people didn't. I did that, out of curiosity, to show people the prices of stuff, I buy and different things we buy over here and stuff. Hey, Mr. Vargas, glad you're here. No, I don't worry about it, Philip. I don't worry about health care here because I'm not sick. I'll start doing the walkarounds and stuff. As long as the signal do good. No, I don't worry about the health care here. The only thing, because I'm not sick, mostly I get sick, and Belma takes care of me, so I don't get really, really sick. Most of what I get is an air conditioned cold or temperature change or something. Excuse me. Had something in my throat, kind of dry. No, all my life, my 53 years of living, I've only been in the hospital twice in my whole life. I was there, when I was born in 65, and then I went back for surgery. I had surgery, in 19, let's see, what was it, 87. I went to the hospital there in Cabarrus County, which is Northeast Hospital there in North Carolina, in Concord, North Carolina. I went there one time and I stayed 3 days for a pilonidal cyst. That's a hole at the end of your spine. I inherited that from my dad, and that's the only two times I've been in the hospital in my entire life in 53 years. So I'm in good health. There's nothing wrong with me. So no, to answer your question, I don't worry about the health care, you know. But most people, it's something to consider, when you're coming over here, because I've heard stories, about hospitals and different things here. So, and, you know, so that's one thing you need to consider here, because I haven't been to the hospital, so I can't tell you nothing about that, because I don't know how it is, hospitals here. I haven't been to no doctors or dentists or anything. Yeah, I know, Mr. Evans. I know it's something to be worried about. I know because you never know what's going to happen from day to day. So it's always best to be careful. I understand. I mean, you hear a lot of stories and different things, but if I'd ever go, I mean, I'd give my experiences on it, but I haven't been to no hospital, or a doctor's office or anything. I just know the videos that people make, going there. Because I've heard the hospitals here ain't like they are in the USA, so I don't know. I haven't been through that. I guess if I get out here and I meet somebody, I'll ask them. I'll ask some of the the people and different things. No, that'd be a good idea. That'd be good. I've been here for 2 years so far myself. 1 year anniversary on YouTube, which I celebrated on Saturday. I've been on YouTube since let's see, May the 11th of 2017 is when I started YouTube, and then May the 11th, 2019. So I've been on YouTube for 1 year, and I've been in the Philippines 2 years. Well, I'm 53, and I ain't really officially retired. I'm just 53. Well, I was here. I come here when I was 52 when I celebrated a birthday here. Well, two of them. And I've been here 2 years, so. Because I come in November of 2017. And I was in Pasay City, and we stayed in Pasay City till February of 2019, and then we moved here in February 2019. So, well, 2018. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here. Yeah, because I come in November of 2017, and we went to Pasay City, and I stayed in that place where I did. When I come in 2015, I knew the guy, and I rented the apartment from him before, so I rented it again, and then we stayed there until February of 2018. Then we moved here in February of 2018. So we've been here ever since February of 2018. That's how long we've been in this house. And this house was fully furnished when I got here. I didn't buy none of the furniture; it was all added in. So I didn't go out here and buy this furniture because that's what I was looking for—a fully furnished place. Because I don't have a vehicle, don't have a motorcycle yet. I use public transportation, and you get an unfurnished house, and you got to run around, and pay people to deliver things and buy furniture and bedroom stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't want that hassle. I just wanted to move into a regular furnished house. So that's what I got. And the landlords I got, they're good people. They're good church going people here. So they're very nice. They're very considerate. And if I have to fix something in the house, they work with me. On the rent, they knock it off the rent. If I fix something in the house, because you see behind me, I got to fix this ceiling because it was leaking in the living room. So every time it rains, got buckets here, to hold the water because it does rain, and then it leaks, you know. And they got to mop up the water. So, they know that because I told them that I would fix it. So, I got the stuff in the bedroom. So, oh yeah, that's my plan too. I always rent. I don't want to own. That way, if anything goes south, at least I got a place to stay. You know. I always got a CYA. You always got to do that. It ain't that I don't trust, the woman I'm with or nothing. It's just, it's just. my perspective, I just want to rent stuff, I just always want to rent. Oh, I don't plan to. Well, you can own stuff. I guess you can own a motorcycle, something like that. Yeah, I know. I learned that in a truck driver when I was a truck driver for 22 years. I always CYA myself. I always did that. I always did that. I learned that in the trucking industry. That's one thing that I did learn was CYA. Because if you don't look out for you, there ain't nobody else gonna look out for you. That's that's a fact. I mean, I'm telling you. I don't want to sound like I'm selfish, but you got to look out for yourself. Because if you don't, nobody else will. Because it's just the way the world is this day and age. And it's about 2:30 in the morning over here. But I want to do this live stream because I messed that one up, at the mall, and stuff like that. I took my mother, out to eat for Mother's Day because my mother's here and everything, and I took care of Belma's mom and stuff, and so everything's all good. It was a good day. Yeah, I figured when I stay here 3 years, I got to do a visa run. I figured I'd go to Hong Kong because I always wanted to go to Hong Kong. I always wanted to go to Hong Kong, so I'm gonna go to Hong Kong. When my 3 years, because you have to leave the Philippines in 3 years. You have to go somewhere else. And I'm figuring I'll go to Hong Kong. I haven't been there, so I'm gonna see if Belmont go with me because she got a sister that works over there abroad. So I go see her. And then I want to go to Hong Kong. I don't know what it's like in Hong Kong. I've never been there, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Everybody goes to Thailand, but I want to go to Hong Kong. Because I didn't do much traveling. Most of what traveling I did was when I drove over the road. I mean, I run from North Carolina to California and from Texas to Michigan and everything in between. I was gone over a month at a time before ever I got home. I started driving when I was back in, let's see, 87 after high school because I used to work in a cotton mill over there in the thing. I used to be a box picker, in a textile mill, and then I got tired of that. Then I went to driving a truck in '87. I went to school and truck driving school there in the state, and then I started driving in a little after '87. I wish I'd have done something else because I didn't get that much out of trucking. I was just gone all the time. It took me away from, things that I really wanted to do that I couldn't do because I was always gone all the time. Was trucking is a lonely life, boy. I'm telling you, it's hard being out there on that road all the time. Some people like it. It was okay. I mean, you go by the sites and stuff in the states and stuff, but you ain't got time to stop and look. I mean, you ain't got no time. It's always you. It's like you're running for presidency, but you're always in a different city, a different, always in a different town every day. You're always going from city to city. It's hard to look at your where you're at because you can't remember where you're at because it's kind of hard because you got to keep all that up. What I do for entertainment, YouTube. That's what I do. I do YouTube for entertainment. Nah, mostly what mostly I just do stuff. I do the videos for the YouTube, and then mostly we just watch Netflix. Stuff like that on the iPad. I got an iPad. And me and Belma always watch the Netflix. I can't get her to go to the movies. I want to get her to go to the movies, but she said, "Well, we could just wait for it to come out on Netflix. We can just watch it at home on the Netflix." I'm trying to get her to go to the movies. It's hard. It's just the way she is. I mean, she's very subtle. She's from the Providence. She's not used to doing stuff like that. So and then it's kind of hard to get her to go anywhere, but then when I get her somewhere, she'd be happy, But it's getting her to go, It's what my problem is. And that's why I don't film a lot of places because I don't want to go without her. I want to go with her. I want her to be a part of it. I want to experience, with her, and stuff. Even though she's probably been there, a couple of times maybe before, whatever. I want her to go with me so we can experience it together. That's why because I don't feel right going by myself somewhere. If she's not there. I met her on a dating site. I met her on a Christian Filipina site, and I can vouch for them because before I met her, I dealt with a lot of scammers, online, just like everybody else did. I went to the dating sites. I changed my Facebook picture and got them out of here to come out the woodwork. I mean, they just left and right all over Facebook. So I really didn't mess with them not too much on Facebook. Then I started doing the dating sites. I don't know why I picked the Philippines. I don't know. It's just something, I don't know why I picked the Philippines. It was just some kind of feeling or something. I don't know. I can't tell you. Maybe y'all get the same, way when y'all do it. I don't know. I don't know what drew me to the Philippines. I don't know. It was just something. But how I met Belma, I started, with the dating sites, and stuff. I did the YouTube. Oh, it's okay. I'll answer any question you got. I mean, I'm not an expert at it. I just tell you my experiences, and probably 90% of the people has been through the same thing I've been through. It's just my. I don't mind answering questions. I'll give my opinions on it. What I've been through. That's all I can tell you. I don't mind you asking questions. You can ask me anything you want. I'll give you a good, honest answer the best I can. But I can only tell you from my experiences. Now, how I met Belma, I went through a lot of stuff before I ever met her. 'Cause I lost my dad in 2012, so that stopped me from driving. So I gave up the road, because I lost my daddy in 2012. You know, I, I was in Fort Worth, Texas, with my daddy. So I just gave up driving, then, and then I went home, and took care of my mother, because she was there by herself and she didn't have no family. I met Belma. And then, I started, working a local job. I drove for an owner operator for a while, and did pretty good with him running back and forth, from North Carolina to Florida, back and forth, hauling Coca-Cola. And I did that for a little while. And then, I started, the way I met Belma, I got scammed 3 times before I ever met Vilma. I went on this Christian Filipino site. I started hearing stuff about it, so I went on that site. And you have to join Christian Filipino. And the people in the Philippines, the girls in the Philippines, they can join for nothing. But the foreigners that goes on the Christian Filipino, you got to pay for the membership. But it's like an investment because here's the thing. The reason I like the Christian Filipino side, the reason I'll stand behind it, is because if you run into a scammer, let's say you talk to a lady on the Christian Filipino site, and you talk to them and they ask you for money, they've got a toll-free number, which is nationwide, which is worldwide, which you can call them, and you tell them and you give the girl's ID number, they'll take her slap off the site because they don't deal with scammers because they know how it is in the Philippines and they know how the girls are. So even the guy, that founded Christian Filipino, Peter, he got scammed by people. He got scammed by the girls in the Philippines. So that's why he started this site. And that's why, that's basically why he started it because he was scammed himself. So he knew how it felt. So that's why I stand behind that Christian Filipino side because, anytime I wanted to ask them something, I always called the toll free number. There was always a friendly voice on the other side, and they always explained, and told me about different things. Yeah, I know. But that's why I went to Christian Filipino. But see, I run across three scammers on Christian Filipino, so I got them took off the site because they scammed me. I had one in Cebu, I had one in Candy Oreo, and then I had one in Abu Dhabi. I had one there over abroad, and so that was three that tried to scam me on there, and I called and took them off. And then I started talking to Belma, I even videotaped me and Belma talking, because I talked to Belma two years before I ever come here. I talked to her good 2 years before I ever made my trip here in November, 2017. So I talked to her 2 years before I ever got here. And I talked to her family and everything online and all that. The family come around. Well, we went off the Christian Filipino site. We went to Skype, which you're not supposed to do that, but I got the trust with Belma. I felt like Belma was good, so I trust her because they tell you not to talk to the girls off site, because they can't protect you if you go to Skype or Facebook Messenger or something and talk to them because it's not on their platform. So but I felt like I could trust Velma, and then that's when I started talking to her on Skype. And I got to trusting her real good. Now she's from Bel Air, Aurora. Now that's north, that's way up north, in the Philippines, up in the surfing capital, Bel Air, Aurora. You have to look on the map. It's the surfing capital. They made a movie about it. That's how the surfing become famous there in Bel Air, Aurora, and that's where her family is, and they live in a compound and stuff. But they had a typhoon, different things like that, and sometimes the internet's not that good there. And I experienced that, when I went there for Christmas this past time, going to Christmas, how the internet signal, and we went to see the Christmas lights, and all of a sudden we had a brownout, trying to see the Christmas lights. So that's the stuff that they had going on. So, I Velma affected me. I had to get her a phone because I want to stay in touch with her. I didn't want to lose her because, I mean, once you meet this special girl, and she's for real, and she's not trying to ask you for nothing. She don't ever ask you for anything, and she's good. She's always there on time, and you talk to her, because she thinks she's gonna do the same way to her that everybody else done to her. So so I felt like I could trust her. So I sent her the money to buy a phone, so she went and bought a phone. And I got this little app on my on my phone. It's called I don't know. It's called something where you spin a wheel and you got so many points and stuff. And so I called her on there. So that way I'd talk to her. I talked to her a good an hour and a half or whatever, but we had our conversation. So I did talk to her. When the internet was bad where she was, so I could stay in touch with her, so she know I was thinking about her and I was still serious. But that's how I met her. I mean, she was in because when she was on there, her cousin put her picture and stuff on there, but she couldn't talk to nobody where she was because she worked in Abu Dhabi, and then they didn't allow no internet over there. They didn't allow no talking, so she got, she couldn't talk to nobody really. So I guess I was probably the second or third one she talked to on that dating site that met, and then then we started talking on Facebook and everything. Then I made the trip over here, so I've been with her ever since. So. Well, as far as her time, she stays on her iPad. She does, she stays in touch with her family on her iPad. She has her space in the room, and I have my space upstairs. I go upstairs 'cause I run a little online business, is what I do. Because I do internet marketing and stuff. That's how I do it. Plus, I got my savings. I saved up before I come here. For driving and stuff. So I saved my money. And stuff and everything. But Velma can be trusted. I mean, she's on the internet. Most of what she does is just post stuff about the president and different stuff, in the Philippines and stuff. But other than that, she talks to her family and everything, on Facebook and different things. So, I can trust her, I really can. And I'm sorry that was a long drawn out story, but that's how I met her. That's how I met her. I met her through the Christian Filipino site. If anybody else, meets one of them, through the other sites, See, because most of these Philippine girls over here, they're on the Facebook and they want to be my friends and stuff, and then they tell me, I know people, introduced to the friends. Well, see, I don't want to play matchmaker because if the girl turns out to be a bad apple, I don't want nobody to come back at me. Well, how I got my mother to move here, well, she was over there, and I met Belma, and she talked to Belma, my mother talked to Belma and everything. So Belma treats my mother real good. So, we talk, back and forth, and stuff. And Belma talked to my mother, and everything. So my mother never been anywhere much in her life. She went to the beach, and stuff like that. But my daddy was always a home person. He was always a home person. He never did like to get out and go any place much. He didn't really like to go to the beach. He'd go to the beach, but then he'd get homesick. He'd stay at the beach 3 days, and ready to go back home. I took my mother to Memphis, because she wanted to go to Memphis. So I was the one that took her to Memphis. My daddy didn't go because he didn't want to go. Because my daddy, when there was a traveling type, I mean, he done it when he was young, but. But that's how I got my mother, because she didn't have no family. The family that she had, they didn't much want to do with her. Kind of like my side of the family, after my grandma and grandpa died, the family just drifted apart. Because most of my family lives in South Carolina, and all my relatives. Well, that's good. I mean, I talked my mother into coming here, and that's why she come here. Yes, South Carolina's good. I've been all over South Carolina. I got relatives living in South Carolina. I got an uncle that owns a pest control company there called Rollins Pest Control. He's my uncle. So down in South Carolina, I think he's down in Paisley. Most of my people around in Paisley and Jefferson and Heath Springs. I got an aunt that lives in Monroe, and most of them live in Paisley or Jefferson. Yeah, I'm from North Carolina. I'm from. I was born in Concord. Yeah, I've been to Charleston. I've been to Charleston. Charleston's good. I've been to Charleston. Charleston's a good place. I remember I went to Charleston one time. I guess it was close to Martin Luther King's birthday, and I used to drive for a carpet. I used to drive for a Latin carpet place out of Charlotte, delivering carpet to the carpet stores in Charleston. And I went down yonder, and I had to go downtown Charleston. I said, "My God!" And they was having a Martin Luther King celebration, and I didn't know it and I had to go to a carpet store downtown Charleston. Boy, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. There were so many people around everywhere in Charleston. Yeah, I'm from North Carolina, but then we was living in Kannapolis. That's where Dale Earnhardt's from. Yeah, I've been to Roanoke Rapids too. I've been there. Excuse me. I've been there before. Yeah, we used to live in Kannapolis for a while, and then my daddy bought that house in Rockwell, and so we moved out there. So we got away because we had annoying neighbors down there where we was, in Kannapolis. So we had to move. So, yeah, I've been all over South Carolina with my grandpa because my grandpa was a retired Baptist preacher. So he went to all the churches in South Carolina, and preach and stuff. So I used to go around with him some. But a lot of people, my grandpa went to their churches. Most of them's already dead too. They already gone. So like he is. So. Yeah, because my mother was used to the Western society. We want to go into Walmart, especially when you go to to a store and you ask them for something, and they tell you it's out of stock or not available. that was that was the kind of thing because most times she wanted something and she couldn't get it, and that was the problem. Other than that, she's adjusted real good. She's adjusted real good here. Yep. I hate this, fellas. I'm really sorry, but I gotta end this stream because my battery on my phone's going dead. I got 15% left on this thing. This phone eats up its battery very quickly. I've been enjoying talking to everybody. I appreciate everybody coming for the live stream. Everything I'm gonna go in here, so Belma can send the regards and everything. I'm gonna go in here to the other side of the house so you can see Belma. It's kind of dark because I got to hurry. I got 10% on my battery, and my phone's gonna die, and I don't want it to die on me. So I'm gonna get Velma to say, Happy Mother's Day and everything. Say hello to everybody. Then I'm gonna have to end this live stream. I appreciate everybody coming, but I got 10% on my battery, and I don't want the phone to end on you. I appreciate everybody coming, and I hope everybody, I will do another live stream tomorrow, probably about this time, maybe. I'll do the best I can. Y'all take care. God bless each and every one of you. As always, our prayer. I'm gonna switch the phone around so everyone can talk. Wish everybody a happy Mother's Day, Velma. I got 5% on my phone.
Happy Mother's Day to all.
Yep. I gotta go. I got 3% on my battery. My phone's gonna die.
Oh, you need to charge.
Yeah, I know. All right. We'll catch everybody later. Is it Miss Velma? She kind of shy. Yep.
I put her face.
It's okay. Yep. It's kind of dark in this room, so I'm gonna end the live stream. All right. I appreciate everybody. live streamed everything. I'll get my mother to say hello to you. She's in her room. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I in the stream because I got 5% on my battery.
Oh my gracious, your battery's going. Hope all the mothers have a nice Mother's Day today.
Yep.
Everybody's on the road. I hope you have a safe trip back to your dwelling place.
Yeah, I got to go. It's low battery. Okay.
Bye.
All right. I'll catch y'all later. Got